Welcome back, everyone. JAYBONE here for Smash This Podcast. I just made a banner for the show, and now it's gone. I can't find it. Where did it? There it is. There it is. Show. Okay, here we go. So, what a lovely start. All right. We're... Cheers, everyone. Got some coffee. I swear to God, I'm awake. We're going to cover... we're not reviewing anything right now. We're just covering a crap ton. And yes, that is an official measurement. We're covering an official crap ton of news that has dropped over the last few days. Lots of stuff. Going to give my opinions on everything. We're going to cover WWE releases. We're going to cover Impact Wrestling Rebellion news updates, loads of them, along with a sad farewell to someone from the Knockouts division that literally came out of nowhere on Thursday, and some other brief stuff. Thanks for the bits. Much love. Greatly appreciated. Just a reminder, folks, you can share bits, you can sub, you can give subs, you can do all that stuff on our Twitch. As far as on the YouTube, you can smash that like button. You can smash that sub button. You can ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Get all the updates. I know the updates sometimes are a little wonky. Sometimes people don't get them. But I have that problem too. You know, I'll be waiting for something to come when I know it's coming. And it's like 15 minutes late, half an hour late. You never know with YouTube. But there's so much going on YouTube, honestly, it's no surprise. It's just another one of those things where YouTube's just so big and it can only handle so much. So little things like that happen once in a while. Also want to remind folks that there is a brand new Discord for Smash This Podcast. It's slowly getting off the ground, but it all depends on your participation, folks. I'm going to be, I drop stuff in there when I can. It's been a slow week for Smash This Podcast. There's a lot of stuff going on. But hoping to get back into a regular schedule, a different schedule, but a regular schedule over the next couple of weeks. Some big stuff coming up, especially with Rebellion and whatnot. So yeah, hop on into new Discord. And what's interesting is I'm not getting notifications for when people pop in there. I'm not sure why, but nonetheless, not a big deal. I've noticed that there are at least a dozen or so new folks in there. So great to see. Also, the merch site in the description. Go check it out. Easiest way to really support the podcast, keep it growing. There's also a support button on the audio section for anchor.fm/smash this podcast. There's a support button. You can support the podcast for less than $1 a month. All right. Now that we got all the plugs out of the way, and I need to get better at that, because I love doing this, but I'm horrible at promotion. Just quieting the phone down. All right. Now, let's jump into some JAYBONE news. Jiminy Christmas! And now, it's time for the news. Take it away, JAYBONE.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
lovely little ditty there, Russo. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, I'm probably the last person to report on this. No, probably not. But anyways, just like I said, catching up on everything in the world of wrestling today. So it's a sad day for 10 folks that were a part of the WWE roster. We've got the full list here, total of 10. All right, so WWE has come to terms on the release of Samoa Joe, Billy Kay, Payton, Royce, both of the Iconics, Mickie James, Chelsea Green, Tucker, Kalisto, Bo Dallas, Mojo Raleigh, and Wesley Blake as of April 15th. Man. So, and from what I've heard, they all have 90-day, waits on when they can join another major company. They can hit the indies if they want, but there's not a lot still happening. It's starting to get going out there here and there, depending on where they're at. I'm sure a lot of them are in Florida. Not sure exactly what the indie situation is going on in Florida, but nonetheless. Now, for someone like Kalisto, I'm not sure if he can travel, south of the border and do some stuff down in Mexico. Then again, I thought he was always more USA based. I'd have to go look at his history and as far as in the indies. But so yeah, the biggest shocker here, honestly, in my opinion, is Samoa Joe, because he was such a gift, especially in the recent years, to the commentary team. One of the best. I felt like he really added something. Now I know, of course, I'm on my little, I don't know, taking a little vacation from the WWE stuff again, just because the whole build to WrestleMania was just so utterly, disgustingly, just depressing. They added all this stuff and killed a bunch of storylines going into Mania. They just ruined it, in my opinion, and that's me. That's my criticism of it. So it really soured me on everything going on. And then you've got stuff like this that happens right at, you have WrestleMania. It's we're back and people are back in the stadiums and it's a sold out crowd, which it's not. I don't know how they can call it sold out. That's really just a slap in the face, really. Yeah, look at all the cardboard cutouts. It's really sold out. Just ridiculous. And then, a week later, boom, let's get rid of a bunch of people. Now, there were rumors of a lot of NXT releases coming soon, but we haven't seen any yet. Usually those are followed within the next, 24 to 48 hours. We haven't seen anything. They could come next week. We don't know. But they hired here's that term again, a crap ton. They hired a crap ton more people, and we've seen that, including a bunch of former Impact stars. So who knows? I certainly don't wish it. It's just that's what they seem to. That's their normal protocol lately. They let go a bunch of main roster people, and then they follow it up quietly with a bunch of NXT folks. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the world of WWE? Samoa Joe has certainly sent some feelers out there. Some people like Scott Moore from Impact Wrestling have sent feelers out to him, which is a little surprising. That's kind of daring, considering the realm of 90-day no compete, and you're not supposed to talk to anyone or do anything in that time because you're still technically employed. But now I was reading this. This is kind of interesting. People just wondering what the physical condition is of Samoa Joe. Now, of course, this is from one of my favorite dirt sheets, Fightful, which is, most of the stuff that comes out of there is just straight garbage. We know that. I've discussed that at length on here. So he wasn't cleared by WWE as of late. So, but like I said, take that with a grain of salt. I'm sure he could go to any other doctor connected to the industry and get cleared. Who knows? I mean, they had him on TV plenty, so he's got to be fine mentally if he's conversing and expressing his feelings on what he's watching live on television. So don't tell me he's that bad off. But then again, there's a whole physical side to that too, I'm guessing. So who knows? I'm not a doctor. But if people are contacting him, there's certainly interest out there. So let me know your thoughts. What was the most shocking release to you? And where do you want to see these people go? What do you want to see out of these people? We'll talk a little bit about each of them now. So we talked about Samoa Joe. There's even CM Punk out there said anything's possible as far as when it comes to Samoa Joe. So who knows what that stage would look like? Who knows? Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Certainly Peyton Royce was a better wrestler. Billy Kay was decent, but they both I didn't watch WrestleMania, but I heard that they both just were in WrestleMania matches, or at least Billy Kay was. I don't know. Certainly on TV a lot, and used at length in promos and whatever. Horrible gimmick. I've talked about that. Horrible gimmick. Acting like you're unemployed, but you're still employed. But we won't stick you in the ring, but you're just going to walk around with the whole, I don't know what the hell you call it. Resume gimmick, I guess. Hey, thanks for the bits. The W. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. The W's back. Well, thanks for the bits. I appreciate it. MLW is taking over. Oh, okay. That's still your gimmick? That gimmick is old. Nobody even covers it anymore. But God bless you for loving MLW. Anyways, we continue. And there's certainly other companies that are trying to do the whole women's tag division thing. AEW had the tournament, really went nowhere, sadly. Impact Wrestling, still, in my opinion, has the best roster. It's sadly going down a couple, people lately. They need some more. They absolutely need some more. But we've heard about this comeback of Taylor Wilde. That's certainly going to be welcome. Will be great to see her. And, we haven't seen her in the ring in ages. I'm really curious to see how good she is. So we'll see what's all going on. If she's going to be the surprise tag team partner of Jordan Grace, I don't know. But I tell you what, for a company like Impact Wrestling, who certainly does need some more knockouts and could use a fresh knockouts tag team, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, you got an instant great package right there. I'm not sure what you would call them. Hopefully something not too corny, but nonetheless would certainly be welcome. As it looks like there might be some others returning. Could be Chelsea Green, Mickie James. Although it seems like Chelsea Green would jump in the whole AEW thing because she does have some friends there. So who knows? But I'd love to see some hardcore country return to the realm of Impact Wrestling. Hey, more bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Noon Mountain. That's a new face here. Iconics and Impact. I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to see it. That'd be great. Al Punk Tracy says that he has been a fan of the Iconics since their days in Shimmer. All right, there you go. All right, so what's else on the list here? Tucker, so sad. You know, they break up these teams and then they have zero clue what to do with them after. It's like, if you're going to break up a tag team, have a plan. Don't just break up tag teams. Because then you see what we got here. Just ridiculous. Heavy Machinery, as corny as the name was, I was actually a fan of that tag team. Great big guy tag team. Nothing wrong with that. And yeah, because Otis was a little more charismatic at times and had kind of a goofy gimmick and the way he expressed himself and everything. And Tucker really didn't have that, but certainly was a great sidekick, a great big guy wrestler. And they just dumped him. We need more guys like that around because there's so many smaller guys. Nothing against the smaller guys. You think of like the X Division and, some mid-card guys in this brand or that brand. But it's great to see some more big guys getting a little more attention, like Jake something and whatnot. So yeah, who knows? Who knows where some of these guys will land? Kalisto, please please unblock me, Kalisto. I'm still a fan. The guy couldn't take a joke. It wasn't a great joke. It was more of just a friendly rib from a fan. It's not like I called him a shitbag on national television. Dear God, Taz, that was harsh. No, he's tremendously talented. Who knows? Would be a great part of the X Division, or go to a place like Ring of Honor. Who knows? Bo Dallas. For those of you who don't remember, I'm going to remind you that Bo Dallas is a former champion, a former world champion. He was champion in NXT. He was also champion in, was it FCW? I think he was champion in FCW before they turned it into NXT. Tag team champion. And I'm not sure what other titles he held. I think that's it. Not sure. But that was an easy one too. People waited for them to put them back with his brother. His brother Bray. And never happened. His former tag team partner Curtis Axel let go a year ago to the date. And why they kept Bo, I'm not sure, but they didn't do anything that entire calendar year. Crazy. But so I don't know if he's going to retire. I don't know if he's going to jump to some other brand. I would certainly love to see him somewhere else. Who knows? Let's see who's next here. Mojo Raleigh. God bless Mojo Raleigh. I was actually a card-carrying member of the Mojo Raleigh fan club. One of three, I believe. No, I liked him. I wasn't really a fan of the blue goo on the face gimmick, you know, the screaming into a mirror. That really went nowhere fast. Um, but he had a lot of charisma, and I felt like he was like okay in the ring, you know, for a guy coming off of a football gimmick, if you will. You know, similar to a classic. You look at someone like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you know, with the 4-point stance and whatnot. So Mojo Raleigh maybe had a little more energy, but you could certainly compare him to the likes of a Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you know, a little kooky, uh, but certainly always running to the ring. Like maybe okay, so if you mix a classic of the charisma of the Ultimate Warrior and the goofiness at times of a Hacksaw Jim Duggan, that's like just the first thing off the top of my head is what you get with Mojo Raleigh. I don't know. I would like to see him somewhere else. He could certainly uh, you know, get a fresh start somewhere. I don't know where. Who knows? All right, what's left on this list here? Ah, yes, former tag team champion Wesley Blake. And honestly, was a little surprised they didn't let go of Murphy too, because Murphy seems to be just lost in catering as of late. Had a great storyline. By some opinions, I was not a fan of it with the whole Seth Rollins slash affair of someone half his age. But nonetheless, still a tremendous talent. So Wesley Blake, though, really has not been seen a lot of at all. But I loved him in a tag team with Murphy. I don't know why they didn't just put him back with Murphy. That would have been another layup. Just easy 2 points, you know. Oops, messed with my lighting there. Would have been so easy. But who knows? And from what I heard, I think he's now a father. So obviously he's got you know, a significant other and or wife and a baby now. I think that's what I heard about him. So yeah, so he's going to be looking for some work, obviously. But all of these folks that we just discussed about under a 90-day no compete clause. Although I'm not sure, some of them might try to get out of it if they just want to, you know, get out there and get stuff happening for themselves. You can't blame them if they, you know, they're going to. All right, so what's next here? So yeah, we'll talk about one more sad thing, then we'll wrap it up with Rebellion updates, and there's an absolute ton of them. So also in the realm of somebody departing from a company is Nevaeh, who is now a former knockout from Impact Wrestling, unfortunately. This was a shock. None of us Impact fans saw that coming. We really, I feel like, and I'm speaking for all of us as far as fans from like the TNA brand or TNI brand, excuse me. You know, we've discussed this at length, kind of scratching our heads on the whole breakup of Havoc and Nevaeh on TV and the rumors of things happening. Well, now we understand why. They were doing the slow demise of the tag team of Havoc and Nevaeh, and then her ultimate departure from the company, which we didn't realize. It's hard to believe that she was actually with the company for a year. It went so fast. I mean, this past year really did go by in a blur. so much stuff going on in the world in general. But yeah, and I hope, as good as Nevaeh is, and as long as she's been around, that she gets picked up by someone else. You know, if it's AEW, I mean, AEW has finally really kicked that women's division into high gear. It feels like it took a little over a year from injuries and other things happening. You got Big Swole, the return of Chris Statlander, Britt Baker, Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, excuse me, almost said Velvet Sky, dear God, Abaddon, among so many others, Thunder Rosa, you know, so many talented women on that roster now, and it's finally really kicked into gear. But now, you know, and if they're going to work on a tag division, well, that's obviously going to need some work. You can't just throw a bunch of women together like they did and expect it to take off, you know, unless they're going to hire someone like the Iconics, or the former Iconics, excuse me, or formerly known as the Iconics, or the Sea Stars, you know, someone like that, which they've been on there, but they haven't really given them the green light to get fully elite, you know, if you will, but they've been on there plenty. So yeah, certainly gonna miss Nevaeh. It's hopefully they left on good terms, but obviously the letting go of her husband certainly didn't help things, I can't imagine. Hopefully, you know, Impact fans really want Jake back. He's in tremendous shape. Looks like the communication is still there, but it's just a matter of time, I guess. I mean, the guy's innocent. He was guilty by association, but he did nothing wrong as far as what anybody else knows. Mr. Impact Wrestling Bill is in the chat. What is up, brother? So yeah, we hope to see more of her soon somewhere, you know, or maybe return to Impact Wrestling someday. They certainly need some more knockouts now, so we'll see what happens. But there's some big stuff coming, I got a feeling. So we just got to be what I always like to say. We preach patience here on Smash This Podcast. Now, switching gears here a little for something more positive. For April 25th, my birthday, by the way, Impact Wrestling's Rebellion. We're going to give a lot of updates here. Yeah, Terrence Sullivan in the chat. What's up? Impact needs to sign several knockouts in the worst way. It's very true. Very true. I've been talking Saturday morning wrestling. Bam with the bone. Yes. Saturday morning. Just like cartoons, only different. Just let me tell you something, brother. No, I don't quite have that charisma. I need a little more coffee for that. All right. So Rebellion, April 25th on pay-per-view. It's on Fight. I know there's some changes going on with the whole Triller Fight TV thing. Hopefully Impact Wrestling after Rebellion will still have a good relationship with them. Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out sooner rather than later. Let's see here. So let's go over the card, and then we'll hit some other news bits that came out on Thursday as far as updates on the pay-per-view. So let's go over the card. Let me just refresh this just in case there was anything added while we were live. Probably not. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches so far. Not bad. Maybe could use one more match, but I got a feeling a couple of these matches are really going to take up some time. You've got Violent by Design. Now, this one is going to be a little tricky because they show Eric Young here on the poster here for this. I highly doubt with him he tore what is ACL, whatever it is. Almost said ACH. Jesus, I need some more coffee. We need a substitute. We need someone new, and we don't know who we're going to get yet. But I'm very curious to see what they're going to sub in here. So, but we'll just for lack of knowing, we'll just say we got Violent by Design, including Eric Young, Rhino, Joe Doring, Diener. Still want to call him Cody. Along with the team of Eddie Edwards, Storm and Saban, Beer Guns, and Willie Mack. Certainly a damn good team there. But now, no stipulation. No, I'm not sure. They're probably going to add something within the last week. That's my guess. They'll throw some kind of stipulation in this. Not that everything has to have a gimmick, but we got a last man standing match. Sami Callihan and Trey Miguel. That one's been brewing for a while. These two are absolutely going to tear the house down. Could possibly have match of the night, but I think we could almost assume who's going to have match of the night on this card. Let me scroll back down here. It always refreshes and goes to the top when I click off of it. We've got, now no gimmick here, but Brian Myers versus Matt Cardona. I'm very excited about that. We're finally going to get the payoff on that. And hopefully this isn't the exit of Matt Cardona. We don't know how long he was supposed to be sticking around, if he's just on a taping by taping thing. Hopefully they actually do sign him because I really enjoy him being a part of this brand. And Brian Myers has been a great addition too, I've got to say. So who knows what's happening in this one, but Matt Cardona took a very curious loss on Thursday to Callihan. So I don't know if that's a precursor to what's going to happen. Really hard to say. I'm going to call that a bit of an upset. Certainly two different styles of wrestling, but that was kind of surprising to see. Because usually in a pick your poison thing, both people end up winning going into their, so they both look strong going into their match at a pay-per-view. That was not the case here. We've got the X Division title on the line. Now, no gimmick here either. I would love to see a ladder match or something, but, can't have gimmicks and everything. TJP, Josh Alexander, and Ace Austin defending his X Division title. Man, this was going to be another, as Austin would call it, a banger. It's going to be a banger of a match, folks. We've got the Knockouts title on the line. Deonna Purrazzo defending against Tenille Dashwood. She squeaked out with a win here. Not sure what I think about that yet, but I will say that Tenille Dashwood has improved as of late. She's shown some more charisma with the help, I would say, of Caleb with a K. I like that tag team, or not tag team, but I like that team. Caleb always bringing his best, you could say, Bobby Heenan imitation with the neck brace. That's a lovely little throwback. If you're going to have a throwback, it doesn't get much better than that. And I'm really enjoying it. So, I would have much preferred it be Jazz, but she sadly is retiring. But it looks like we're going to get them in one more. I'm sure she'll be at ringside, but we have yet to see who officially is going to join Jordan Grace, and I'm sure then that match will be added to the card within the next week, few days, whatever. We've got the Impact Tag Team titles on the line. Good Brothers trying to get those belts back from New Japan Pro Wrestling's FinJuice. That's been very interesting, seeing the tag titles away from the company, but it certainly has people talking. It certainly has brought some attention to the brand. I can't wait to see what people's opinions are of this. Are they? And we'll do a predictions this coming week sometime. I'm not sure exactly when. Hopefully we can get some TNI folks in here as well for that. At least Mark. I know Mark's always down for that. Good old Uncle Mark. And let me know what you think, what the future of the tag titles is. And last, but certainly not least, the anchor, I would say, of this pay-per-view that is really crossing the line, if you will, as far as, fans' expectations from, smaller companies like Impact Wrestling going above and beyond to bring in other talents from other companies and put titles on the line. But not just put titles on the line, folks. It is title versus title. Impact Wrestling's world champion, Rich Swann, defending his title against All Elite Wrestling's AEW Kenny Omega, their world champion, flanked, of course, by Don Callis. Bless you. Mac McCall in the chat. What is up? Hey, look at that. Speak of the devil. Mark's in the chat too. Yo. Man, it's still got to kind of pinch myself as a wrestling fan. Can't believe we're actually getting Rich Swann and Kenny Omega. And folks, if you want to see a hell of a press conference, really edited well, because it had a lot of Zoom call type deals where it looked like members of the media sent in questions, some verbally to Josh, some by video, and it was all put together pretty well. It was a total of 40 minutes, I believe, give or take a minute or two. So, and it was edited down to about 10 minutes on television. So if you want to see the unedited version of it with a bunch of people that I've really never heard of before, could have thrown some TNI guys in there. I'm just saying. Yeah, at least Trent, jeez. But yeah, throwing in questions there for the press conference, and I've seen a lot of people here's that word, critical of how Kenny is on the mic, on the stick, if you will. As far as promos, watch this press conference. I'd say, in my professional podcasting opinion, Kenny Omega goes above and beyond. He really does. And he, man, and I love me some Kenny Omega. He is absolutely one of my favorites today, but man, he makes you hate him. In this press conference, he is such a snob and so snarky. And I props to Rich Swann, man. He keeps his cool throughout this. He is the definition of cool and collected. Just amazing. And press conference, this also shows the charisma and mic talents of someone like Rich Swann. It really does. That he does have that talent as a world champ to be good on the mic and get, crazy excited at times. And then he also, and I'm going to throw an old school reference in this, and older wrestling fans will get this. When Rich Swann, and you especially noticed it during the press conference, he talks like this, and he's kind of quiet, and it's one of those things where you gotta lean in a little bit. You gotta really bend an ear towards what he's saying at the press conference, because he's not over the top during the press conference. Like I said, he keeps his cool, and you got to really lean in and pay attention to what he's saying. All of his retorts to the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega, very Jake the Snake Roberts ish, and that's the best compliment I can pay Rich Swann, is when he just talks to you and he's calm and he's cool, and you gotta really listen and pay attention. And I see a lot of opinions, and hey, no one's wrong here. You're all friggin' welcome to your opinion. It's been very interesting to see how they've put this together and book this as far as who people really think are going to win this. A lot of people are assuming Kenny Omega, but on Impact Wrestling Television, they've dropped a lot of little things that have, in the world of professional wrestling, not to overthink this, just how they presented it, little things that would really work against Kenny Omega. They could go so many different ways with this. They really could. Yeah, a lot of people in chat say that Kenny Omega is just winning, and hey, that's it's easy to think that way, but I want you to stop and think for a second and just take Kenny Omega out of the picture. Look at Rich Swann, and I want you to think for a second and look who he's beat while as champ. That list is nothing to sneeze at, folks. Some, I would say, as good as Kenny Omega. Just by opinion, of course, So Mark says they didn't put the Biz Cliz back together to drop that belt. You know what, though? You look at a group like the Bullet Club, or their version of the Bullet Club, whether you want to call it official or not, it's just fun to call it the Bullet Club, the American version of the Bullet Club. Some would say that group itself transcends any championship aligned with it. There's that opinion too. Do they have to have the titles to be relevant. And in my opinion, no. Because they're so much fun to watch. You got the Young Bucks, you got the Good Brothers, you got Kenny Omega, and by God, Don Callis. Who knows what else is coming for that group? Because it doesn't sound like it's done. If I'm listening, and you should be listening to Don Callis and paying attention, it doesn't sound like they're done adding the numbers to the Biz Quiz, or this version of the Biz Quiz, the Bullet Club, if you will. Trent, Satterbone Smash. That's right. Grab your coffee. It's just, it's just like Saturday morning cartoons, only different. I am old enough that I do remember Saturday morning cartoons. I can tell you that much. Trent, hopefully you're doing well down in, I can't remember where you are. My apologies. But he's out of town on vacation, if you will, at a friend's wedding this weekend, I believe. So hope you're staying safe. Hope you're having a blast, Trent. We'll see you next Tuesday. Or Tuesday, if you will. So now that's the updated card. It's a loaded card, and we're probably going to get that knockouts tag match announcement within the next few days. If not on the episode itself. But is it going to be Taylor Wilde? Is it going to be someone else? There's been rumors of a couple other ladies joining the roster. Who knows? But they do need some fresh faces, as some of you have said in the chat. Especially with the departure of significant ones like Nevaeh and Taya Valkyrie as of late, in the last month or so. Mr. Fretz, what's up, man? Hope you're well. Now, along with the updated card to Impact Wrestling's Rebellion, we had the announcement while we were live on Thursday night, or right before we went live, an announcement that I said live on TNI almost drove me off of the road. I was so shocked by this. Almost lost control of the car. Settle down, Bone. All right. Mauro freaking Ranallo, the bipolar rock and roller, if you will, joining Impact Wrestling Rebellion as a part of the main event, calling Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann. God damn, I need more coffee. So this is per Wrestling Observer newsletter as far as how much involvement Mauro Ranallo will have with Impact Wrestling. It's reported here that, let's see, according to Wrestling Observer newsletter, the deal between Impact and Ranallo was struck when Frank Shamrock made an agreement with Anthem Sports. Mauro Ranallo will commentate the Rebellion main event, and he will also do voiceover for 2 video packages, and you can see those 2 video packages on the Impact Plus app for free, I believe. Go check those out. They're also probably putting them on the YouTubes. The idea is to make it special by having Ranallo only call the main event. Anthem made a deal with Frank Shamrock and Mauro Ranallo on April 14th to do the match. So Frank Shamrock is going to call it with him? Oh my. Okay. Voice over 2 packages and build the match and host a documentary. This is Rebellion that will be out next week. That is part of Wrestle Week on Access TV. So yeah, Mauro Ranallo doesn't come cheap, but Impact Wrestling is bringing him in for their big Rebellion main event. We'll have to see who is holding both the Impact and AEW World titles when the event is over. But Ranallo will likely be screaming "Mamma Mia!" his coined catchphrase throughout the match, and I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. This is certainly by far the most positive thing I've seen as far as announcing this past week in the world of professional wrestling, as opposed to WWE just giving me one more reason not to watch their stuff, especially on Friday nights, given Pat McAfee has now been added to WWE commentary alongside Michael Cole. That combination right there just makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Not gonna lie. So, God bless everybody on the show. Have absolutely zero desire to watch it now. That guy just, I can't stand him. Ugh. Mark 2, look at that. All the puke emojis. Beautiful. Give me all the puke emojis. And I'll just assume they're being aimed at Pat McAfee and not me. Look, and I know I've been critical of Mauro Ranallo in the past, but I always felt it was because of how WWE was trying to control him. Because there were times when he was just on 10, absolutely over the top, screaming for the entire hour throughout matches of the show. You can't do that. You've got to have a bit of a roller coaster of emotion. If you're constantly on 10, it's unlistenable, in my opinion. And Mauro Ranallo is a tremendous announcing talent with a lot of charisma, but it's got to be balanced. I don't want him screaming Mamma Mia through the whole thing. It's got to, peak and dip. That's a great thing about great commentators. Look at Matt Stryker, how great he's doing. He's down here. He's talking about the history of these guys in this match. And then, oh my God, blah, 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 blah happened. And he's up here. And then he brings it down and he's still talking about the history of the wrestlers and what they're doing. And they're going back and forth. And then he's peeking up here along with D'Lo Brown. That's a great commentary team right there. Okay. Perfect example. So, that's it for the updates on Rebellion, I believe. Now, let me quick look. Check out, we've got, let's see, we got the photos, the press conference. Mauro Ranallo to commentate. Where is... I'm looking for the Wrestle Week article here, and I'm not seeing it. Why am I not seeing it? I know it's on here. I know I saw it. But there's just a bunch of stuff coming this coming week, all leading up to Rebellion on the 25th. Celebration is going on. A lot of additions added to Celebration. Great to see. I'm not seeing it. I thought it was all in its separate article. I don't know why I'm not finding it. But nonetheless, whatever. It's all good. It's probably on, if you go to their Twitter and or Facebook, they've got the whole lineup on there. I'm just not seeing the article by itself on there. Yelling ensues. So, yeah, Charles in the chat says the Rascals have had a rocket strapped to them. Yeah, they have had a great start compared to some people that have come over from Impact Wrestling. They, obviously Trips sees something in them, and I'm glad someone does, because we all praised the Rascals like crazy on Impact Wrestling. What a blessing they were to the tag division. Great start for them. They are NXT Tag Champs, and I wish them nothing but the best. I really hope they have a continued success and have a great time there. They deserve it. They're hard workers, Mark says, that's why I'm surprised they're getting booed. They're getting booed? By who? The 3 people in attendance? I don't get it. Samoa Joe had a great NXT run. He did. And then the fact that he was not given a chance to be a world champion while on the main roster is criminal. It really is. But at least guys like AJ Styles have had some success like that. I mean, actually a lot of success if you look at it. Mark's going to hit the treehouse in their honor. All right, you do that, brother. All right, so that's my update. I wanted to keep this to about an hour, and it looks like I'm just about at the hour. Thanks, everyone, for joining me this Saturday morning. News update on all things wrestling. We covered the releases that happened a couple days ago, updates to the Impact Wrestling roster, and the Rebellion card, along with the news of Morrow, the bipolar rock and roller Ronaldo. I'm not sure why I went British there or whatever. It's just fun. Fun once in a while. And rest in peace, Prince William. Mrs. JAYBONE was watching the funeral services just about as I was just about to go live. We were just talking about that. Mrs. JAYBONE is actually related to royalty, believe it or not. She is 23rd cousin to Princess Diana. So I told her, I was like, well, then you kind of have to watch, don't you? So interesting little tidbit about Mrs. JAYBONE and the lineage. Not that she's ever going to really be any part of it, but just interesting. So yes, as we get out of here, just would remind everyone, merch link is in the description. Go check it out, along with the brand new Discord. It's got a lovely little start to it, about a dozen people jumping in there. So, and as I get into the swing of things again, as far as changing my schedule up, that'll be more active by myself as well. So kind of all over the place with the whole with the schedule and just the timing of everything, but still trying to keep up with the content that I want to bring you guys as far as news and AEW stuff and everything else. And obviously this is a big week for Impact Wrestling. We'll bring you some preview and predictions sometime this week as well. Can't wait to get that out there. Probably Mark will join me for that. And it's going to be a wild Sunday. I'll be celebrating that as part of by the way, did I mention that's my birthday? April 25th. So, I got to love growing old. Anyways, smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Thank you for the subs and the bits, everyone. Much love. Take care. We'll see y'all soon. I think AAW has a show later today. I might check that out and review it here later tonight. I got to see when it is. Trent would be better as far as letting me know when that is. But I believe it's free on Twitch. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to do some research, so you might see me later today because I've missed out on some AAW lately. Just haven't been able to watch it. So, but that's the thing is you got to watch it live. There's no replay to watch. So, unless you catch it on, I believe it's on High Spots or the AEW site itself. Don't quote me on that. I got to check that out. But much love, everyone. We will see y'all later. Take care.